Hello and good day. My name is Joshua Litpi Caranza from Section 6K Diet, and I'm here to talk about the aftermath of the November 2015 Paris attack, challenges of the European Union. On the evening of November 13, 2015, a rebellion of Islamic activists terrorized the streets of Paris with coordinated strikes. This left a permanent impact on France's cultural clash with Islam, forcing the country's counter-terrorism policy to be reformed. The assaults began at 9:20 p.m. when a suicide bomber attempted to enter Saint-Denis, Stade de France. The following assaults occurred in Paris' 10th and 11th district, as well as at the Bataclan, which housed a music hall and a historic theater at the same time. Witnesses reported that the attackers repeatedly chanted Allahu Akbar as the killing continued. The events of September 11th have shaken the entire world awake. As a result, national security objectives shifted quickly, allowing for the emergence of new anti-terrorism policy programs, agencies, methods, and ideologies. Terrorism is also seldom effective since attacks are usually successful in little chunks. Despite this, it is one of the most divisive and misunderstood topics. As a result of this, we wonder, what is terrorism? According to Primo Rats, terrorism is designed to cause enormous fear. It is also a type of intimidation with a specific purpose in mind, like pushing people to do things they don't want to do. In addition, Carl Wellman said in his article on terrorism itself that violence is one of the most effective ways of frightening people. This relates to the European Union, which began as a means of economic integration, but as time has passed, the concern it conveys have shifted to include protection, public welfare, and ethnic diversity. The following goals of the European Union concerns issues about terrorism: promote peace, values, and the well-being of its citizens, freedom, security, and justice without borders, enhancing economic and territorial cohesion among other EU countries. However, we need to analyze deeply if these goals were strictly observed during terrorist attacks. Now, according to Archik, the EU is mostly seen as a source of stability and prosperity. Concerning the November 2015 Paris attack, there has been a lot of talk how the connection between security and liberty in counterterrorism strategies is changing. The assaults have once again raised an essential question. What kind of public policies should be developed in response to such events? While border control was already a point of contention in the aftermath of the January attacks, the latest events have added to the strain of the EU's credibility. According to Bego et al., the Council conclusions on counterterrorism says tightening border controls and cross-border movement is an effective approach to respond to the Paris attacks. In addition to that, they also had discussion or discussed that EU institutions forced on validating priorities in the past. With a clear focus between border control and counterterrorism, the principle of the EU is very fundamental with the reference to measure the race by the European Commission after the Paris incident. They also mentioned an emphasis on intensifying the available tools that can be used to protect the borders and the citizen from the foreign terrorists outlined in the Commission Recommendation 3894. Since 1952, France has been a major actor in the EU, enthusiastic about forming a bond with the Germany for their borders and policy making. Excuse me. However, the trust of the overall population in the EU decreased since the navigation referendum last May 2005 regarding the EU Constitutional Treaty. Questions were raised again regarding Article 42, Section 7, like why didn't the French government go for the Article 222 of the Treaty of the Functioning of the EU? First, Article 42, Section 7 is a multinational procedure, whereas Article 222 requires decision from the other European member states and institutions. And second, Article 42, Section 7 refers to armed violence, which is a way for the French government to strive toward an activist perspective in their military operations. Other scholars might also ask why they don't use the Article 5 of the Treaty Washington instead. This treaty will actually trigger the cooperation of the international organization. The notion of armed attacks in Article 5 was initially understood more particularly as an attack by the third state against a NATO member and not a terrorist act by a gang of citizens. As a result of the Article 5 would be possible, it would offer other viewpoints. As for its advantage, it will help the countries to secure their national senate for the release of funds, given of the evidence of preferring NATO over EU in terms of defense. However, if these roads were taken, the deployment of NATO would result in unfavorable circumstances with Russia, according to Newell. According to Borod, Vassipoulos, and Folcat, the aftermath of the attacks public ends up being more prejudiced towards immigrants and Muslim, as well in favor more toward to their ethnic group. In a study by Ruiz Estrada and Contronas, they observed that the impact of the terrorist attack in Paris might alter the severity of the attacks, the economic flexibility of their economy, and their level of security. According to their study, Paris may experience a significant financial loss. According or after the Paris attack, questions were raised to why France did not use the Article 222 of the treaty on the functioning of the EU. Article 222 allows the EU to act jointly to prevent terrorist threats in the territory of an EU country. It also provides assistance to another EU country which is a victim of a natural or man-made disaster. The use of armed articles in Article 5 would still be possible, and it would offer another viewpoint. It will help the countries to secure their national parliaments for the release of the funds. However, deployment of NATO would result in an unfavorable circumstances with Russia. That is all. Thank you.